Hashtag House 2024 Premier League predictions.
And all these predictions were made before a ball was kicked.
And starting us off reluctantly in 20th place, it's Leicester City. Realistically, they have got one of the most amazing achievements, if not the most amazing achievement in all of football history, winning the Premier League against all odds. What an amazing season that was. But getting over to this season, it's just in my head, the point deduction is what's making me think, oh dear, it just feels like it's looming over. It's not coming just yet, but that is what's made me put them in 20th place for the start of the Hashtag House predictions. They've still got some really good players. They have sold Dewsbury Hall though, which is a massive, massive loss. Him in the Championship was an absolute joke, but looking at their squad overall, I really hope Leicester stay up, I really do, but we've had to go with 20th place.
In 19th, we've got the Tractor Boys. Now, this is something that I didn't want to say because I actually really like Ipswich and I do think they've got a good chance. They've literally just signed Sammy Smodics. Amaro Hutchinson is in. I think they've got Calvin Phillips as well, and they actually play really good football. I hope this is a prediction that we get wrong. I want Ipswich to stay up, but I think we're all a bit worried that the gap between the Championship and the Premier League is going to be too much. So we've got them in 19th, but please, 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 prove me wrong.
Now, when we filmed at Southampton, they decided to reconstruct the whole place on that day. So you can't hear me, but what I'm trying to tell you is that Southampton are going to get relegated because Russell Martin loves possession too much, they love playing out from the back too much, and not even Aaron Ramsdale can save them. 18th.
In 17th place, we have Forest. What can I say really? Last year they signed infinite players and managed to somehow stay in the division. And this year I'm putting them just staying up, but they're very lucky. And I am literally from Derby. Like, I don't exactly really like Forest very much. But I will say they've got a very, very good manager in Nuno, to be fair. But 17th place, fair play to them though. They've got a fair few ducks.
Hey, I'm finally here. And next up, as a joint prediction, we have Bournemouth. Most people tipped them to go down last season, but the manager ended up being really impressive. Iriola, they've lost that talisman in Solanke, but they're going to reinvest it all. Already a record signing Ivan Ilson. They're going to invest more, so I think they'll comfortably stay up, to be honest. Our joint one ended up being 16th. I'd say 14th, personally.
From one B to another B, literally. We've got Brentford next. Am I expecting much from them? No. Solid season like usual. I feel like keeping Ivan Toney is going to make sure they stay in the league. If he gets sold by the time this comes out, then it could be a different story, but they're solid. I expect a lot from them. They do have nice kits as well. I'll give a shout out, and they are a nice part of London, but apart from that, it's not too much going on here.
We're here at Goodison Park, the place where Liverpool lost the league, the Museum of Memories, the Grand Old Lady. This place holds many memories, my own memories too, from being a little child running around in an oversized Everton kit to a 24-year-old man scoring a penalty at Goodison Park in the Gladys Street, alongside a fellow Evertonian and Hashtag House member, Harry Hesketh. It's the stadium's final season in the Premier League before we move to the docks, so the fans and the team are going to want to give it everything to make sure we have a great season and give it the send-off we deserve.
Nice one, GC, for taking Everton. I would snap your hands up for 14th. Get us into that new stadium, new clean slate, new everything. This is not about Everton, this is about Crystal Palace. The pride of South London, South London's #1. They've lost Leese, big loss, but they ended the season really well with Glasner, one of the best managers in the league, it was looking like. Depends if Guehi goes and how they replace him, because that is a spine of the team. But for Palace, solid, 13th.
Welcome to Craven Cottage. Now, some would say the most irrelevant club in the Prem. They have lost a few big players this year, and I'm a little bit worried about them, but I think they're going to be okay because they signed Smith Rowe. They're still very, very decent. Manager does well. One thing I can tell you is I will not be watching any of their games. Ever.
Yeah, innit? Get him on. I'll join in.
In 11th place, we have Wolverhampton Wanderers. Ow! Should we move on? But realistically, 11th for Wolves. I feel like towards the end of last season, they actually started to do relatively well. Gary O'Neill cooking up something quite well. I have to say though, like Pedro Neto leaving is a big, big, big blow. Along with like Kilman as well. But there is definitely like a really good like feel factor around Wolves. They've obviously been a very consistent team in the Premier League for a long time. So I feel like 11th looks like a likely thing for me. Let's throw it to 10th.
Into the top half now, and we have Brighton.
Here comes the money.
Do my head in these. Regenning players for a few years. Now they started on managers 31 years of age. taking St. Pauli against the odds to the Bundesliga for the first time in 12 years. It seems that whoever Tony Bloom gets on or off the pitch, it just works. Brighton have got a bit more rogue in recent days, spending 200 million. They've made that money, they've earned it. I just think it'll take a bit more time for them to gel. I think they'll start slowly with periods of brilliance, taking them to a modest 10th. Then there's a few good teams this year, starting with the next one, who our boss will be happy with.
Hello, Spencer. We are inside you. Not literally. We are at one of the most soulless stadiums we've seen so far, I can't lie. There's not much going on here, but we have got West Ham in 9th now. I think they've actually had the best summer signings and the best transfer window, but you can sign Fulkrug, Wan-Bissaka and everyone else, but how do you break into the top 8? It's going to be weird seeing him without David Moyes as well, so I'll be surprised to see him go above that. And Jared Bowen is captain if anyone cares about that. But West Ham got you in 9th. Spen and Seb, I hope you don't mind.
In 8th place, we have Manchester United. And I probably need to keep my voice down saying that around here. And realistically, Gary Neville would not be too happy with me saying that, I have to say. But where do I even start with United? There's got a big lack of firepower up front, let's be real, and down that right-hand side. Will Rashford get back to good form? These are all important questions. I'll tell you another important question. Whose idea was it to get Angry Ginge promoting the kit? That's an interesting one. Maybe their season's doomed already. But I will tell you one thing for free. The fidget spinner up front will be doing more 360s than an Xbox. Let's move on to 7th, shall we?
Unfortunately, GC here is trying to tell you a million reasons why Newcastle will finish in 7th place this season, but his mic had other ideas, so we can't actually hear him. But you're going to have to take it from me. GC and the rest of the house have Newcastle in 7th place.
Good evening. In 6th place, we have got Aston Villa, ladies and gentlemen. An absolutely fantastic team at the moment, let's be honest. And good evening, realistically, could have won manager of the season last year. Now, going into this season, I've gone with 6th because I thought, realistically, they've got Champions League football. They've actually lost some really good players as well in Diaby and Douglas Luiz as well. But they've still kept some of their firepower. Ollie Watkins, literally one of the best strikers in the Premier League. And he'll be firing on all cylinders next season, you would absolutely imagine. So I feel like 6th, a fair placing for Aston Villa for good evening.
Generational! Now, to be honest, none of the lads agree with me on Chelsea, but I've got quite an affinity with Chelsea. Reece James when fit, best right back in the world. Love Mason Mount. Frank Lampard was the best player growing up, then coached my beloved Everton and kept us in the Premier League. But that aside, I think because the squad's that big, it's going to be like they're not playing in Europe. All these 20 players are going to do well enough in the Conference League to get into the latter stages. So a refreshed Chelsea with Cole Palmer, the best player in the league, it's going to get close to 4th. I even think it could be close to top 4, I'm telling you. Watch this space on Chelsea.
Finally! It's dark. It might be a little bit dodgy here, but we have finally made it. Now, we've got Spurs in 4th. Do I agree with that? Absolutely not, because Ange Postecoglou's 2nd season. Realistically, we're challenging for the league, but none of these lot are going to believe me on that, so I'll take 4th. I'm just here. Finally. I don't know, I've just got a good feeling. We're signing players that Ange wants. The team's looking good. I think Solanke gets 20 plus goals, and I think we're 3rd, but I have to say 4th for this video.
In 3rd, we have Liverpool. Arne Slot has got massive shoes to fill after the legendary legacy of Jurgen Klopp, but I certainly feel that he can. After a great pre-season that we've just had and keeping literally the entire main squad, I feel it could be a very exciting season for us Liverpool fans. And after coming so close last season, it does seem like a tough ask to get a title charge with a brand new manager and a new style of football, but I know that Arne Slot can cook, so let's see what happens. Up the Reds.
So that means my beloved Mikel Arteta is going to get pickpocketed to the league once more. I just don't think he's going to get over the line until Pep leaves City. So,
Manchester City are your champions.
Yep. Don't look at that table anymore.
Oh, hi George.
Hi boys.
We all saw that come in. They are literally the best team in the league. They've got Pep Guardiola, and anything to stop Arsenal and that disgusting team winning the league. Please, Pep. One more time.
And there's a reason why we visited every single ground. Stay tuned, ladies and gents.
And please like this video because that is some effort for a prediction vid.